Hey, I'm Kimberly Perry, and you're watching Celeb Secrets TV.
Celeb Secrets is here backstage at CMA Fest Day 2, and we have Kimberly Perry with us. Welcome.
How's it going? Thanks for having me.
Anytime. You need to tell me all about this CMA Fest experience for you this year.
You know, this is my first CMA since Reed, Neal, and I were here last, and I think we were in 2016, may have been our last go around. So I feel like a new artist, but with benefits, you know, like I have all the new artist feelings, but I've done it a time or two, so it feels like I at least know some familiar faces and where we're going. So much fun.
It must be nice to be back here because, like you said, 2016 was the last time you were here, seeing friends, you know, getting back in that groove. So tell me about that.
It's just fun when everybody comes to Nashville. You know, everybody tours and goes in different directions all year. And so just to see the family all under the same Nashville sky is so much fun. And, you know, all the stuff just up close and personal with the fans, like all the photos and the signings. And there's just nothing else like it in any other genre. And it's good to be home.
So happy to see you back here in the spotlight and coming out and putting out your own music. What made you really want to come back and be like, all right, I'm going to do this and I'm going to be the solo artist?
Well, at my core, country singer songwriting is just my favorite. It's what I'm gifted at the most. Like I like to explore, have been in LA for a few years pre-COVID and like learned that side of the craft, which was fun. But I was ready to come home to Tennessee. So I spent a lot of 2020 with just me and a guitar on the front porch. And I really think that was the genesis of beginning to think in a solo artist mentality. Reed, Neal, and I had so many conversations about like, are you doing everything that you want to do in life? Is there anything left on the table? And we all were not in relationships with our partners at that point. And so since then it was like, we made hay. We all wound up. I'm about to celebrate 2 years with my husband. But creatively too, we had things that we wanted to say individually. And for me, it was about being here, being rooted in 615 and back at home in country music.
And I know you announced the new EP, Bloom. Oh my God.
I can't believe it. It's just like we're birthing all the things. So I'm 7 months pregnant, but Bloom is out today. The first delivery has gone great, you know, just hoping all those vibes roll into August and we'll be good. I'm excited.
You need to tell me all about this EP, maybe the meaning behind the name, how you picked the songs.
So Bloom, the title came from a line in If I Die Young Part 2. It's in the pre-chorus. It says, I've had time to bloom. And for me, although the bloom is like the beautiful end of the journey, this project is really about the process to getting there, you know? And from time to time, it's like a bit of a violent process to grow, especially for a flower. It's like in seed form, you got to bust out of the seed, bust out of the earth, learn how to grow taller and stand on your own 2 feet, and then shine. And so a lot of this, the first 5 from the Bloom Project talk about creating the space to grow and to ultimately blossom.
Did you get really vulnerable on the lyrics?
Oh,
like,
very.
How was this? Tell me.
We were diary confessional in these lyrics. The first song that I wrote for Bloom was last February, a song called Ghosts. And it was my first session with Nicole Gallion and Jimmy Robbins, who are some dear friends of mine. And that was the moment I was like, this is track 1. Like, we are now fully in the throes of writing a solo project. And so much of my life was shifting and changing, some for the better, some for just the different. And so this project really became sort of my therapy session for the last year and a half. And ultimately everything I learned and everything that came from it felt beautiful to me. And so that's where our title is. And so the first 5 songs are all about.
Now, how would you say you've grown as an artist? I mean, I remember seeing you back in the day with your brothers, and now you're doing your own thing. How would you say you've grown, especially with this new era of music that you're doing?
I think I've grown a lot as a woman and then therefore as an artist. A lot of it for me was really discovering more things about myself. Like I think I had always, since I was a kid, there were in the business and touring, there's a lot of people with a lot of opinions around, and I'm a people pleaser. So I tend to sort of absorb all of that, and then you can kind of lose your sense of identity and for sure your sense of instinct in that. And so for me, getting back to instinct as a woman first started when I met my husband in 2020. We dated 8 months and eloped to Vegas.
No way! Oh my gosh!
And in that moment, I was like, oh, this is so impulsive, you know? But now I know it was really instinctive, and I really think that began the process of me being more instinctive about music and ultimately delivering this project.
Now, you said that there's more coming.
Yeah.
So tell me, you know, what's the timeline for that? What can we really expect from it?
So the EP, the first 5 songs, like I'm calling it the Bloom Project because this is more than just these 5 songs of a moment. That's getting our party started currently. But I had back into the studio, songs already chosen, written. I'm so in love with them. The last week of June. And then we'll be rolling out a full LP sometime this fall. extension of the Bloom project. Yeah.
So now are you going to bring all these songs on the road? Are you going to be touring anytime soon?
Well, Baby Boy comes last week of August, so we're going to sit out for a couple months after that. But right now I'm saying, come on, guys, let's go in November and December and then all 2024. I just cannot wait to get on a bus and get out every night and start singing these with everybody. Yeah.
What would you say is like your favorite part about performing live shows? Because you're a vet.
I love it. I was performing live and doing covers before I was even writing songs, so it is the great love of my life. I think my favorite part is just the sing-alongs with the crowd. I got to go to Shania Twain. She was in town earlier this week, and just to feel all of that audience together enjoying this lyric and melody that they're all singing at the top of their lungs is the dream, and I can't wait to do it.
Now you need to tell me, you said you're 7 months pregnant.
Yes.
Like, how has this process been for you while, carrying a little baby inside you?
Well, this is our first baby. Yeah. It's a little boy, and I think it's just added a lot more gravity to everything because there's just the sense of I'm not just building something for myself, I'm building it for him and for our family. But also creatively, like just in the way that my brain is working, there's so much joy and there's so much peace, and I feel like all that has just been infused into the Bloom project and everything I've been working on. Yeah.
How are you balancing everything now?
We're just doing it both at the same time. There is no balance. It is just literally all happening in the same parallel. I think physically, the first trimester I got pregnant really over the holidays. Okay. So like nothing had really kicked into high gear yet, which was nice. And second trimester has been a breeze, and we're just at the beginning of third. So
almost there.
Yes, you have to.
Yeah. And lastly, we are Celeb Secrets, so we need to know any secrets or fun facts about you that people wouldn't know just by listening to your music or seeing you live.
Oh, a secret or a fun fact. Well, everybody always comments on my shoe choice, and I'm actually only 5'3". I'm like a shorty, 5'2", 5'3". We're living between the two, but I always have a 5 or 6 inch heel because I like to be almost 6 feet tall.
That's literally me.
I'm not sure if that math works, but I feel 6 feet tall. Yeah,
because I'm about 5'4", so every time I go out or do something, I'm like, always the heel. See, look, I got a couple inches on right now.
And then when you take them off, are people like shocked? They're like, oh, they're like looking, oh.
I didn't realize you were that short, and I'm like, is that an insult? Like, what?
I mean, look, we see the world from a different perspective, and I appreciate that. We have the best of both.